because I was allowed access to interview the murderer in the story. His name is Bernard Lagueros, who was Andrew Crispo's assistant / executioner, and I was allowed into Attica to interview him, and that was crazy.
Were you able to get cameras in there, or did they allow?
Oh yeah,
that
that's a big part of the documentary. Wow. Is this guy in our prison interview? But that whole experience was, oh man, I mean, and there's nobody to blame. I created all this. It's not,
yeah.
But that was a very interesting day. Very.
Yeah, Dateline. You see that on Dateline NBC, them interviewing president. So is it one of those where you're face to face with this inmate?
I was face to face, and the guards that were escorting me were just on the other side of the door, basically within arm's reach. They couldn't be on camera, and they couldn't be in the room with me because they basically put us into a cell, essentially.
Wow.
Put us into a cell-size office is what it was. And so, yeah, there wasn't anything separating us. But I corresponded a few times back and forth in writing to Bernard Lagueros at Attica and kind of let him know what we were going to be talking about or whatever. And one thing he really danced around was talking about the murder. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to approach this interview like any other interview. What do you know about this artwork? He confirmed that, yeah, this is the gallery's label. This is Andrew Crispo, blah, blah, blah. And then within, I think, I had 1 hour access with him. Cameras were recording, and about 4 minutes in, he just started talking about the murder. And then it just, that's all he talked about was how horrible it was with Andrew Crispo and what trauma he went through that led to it. And man, if I could release that 60-minute interview as a whole separate sub, which is something that we've talked about, but it's so intriguing. I mean, it is from the mouth of a murderer. And the guy, he was 22 years old and got sentenced to 22 years old and murdered somebody and got sentenced to life. But he got out. I think in at the beginning of 2019.
Wow, that's incredible.